Hi guys, so I'm on my way home from Vegas right now. Just spent the morning, I gotta get home to pick up my kids, so I had to leave early, but jury selection I think is going pretty good. There's a lot of really good potential juries in there. Todd Engel, oh my goodness, Todd Engel is doing amazing right now, asking a lot of really good questions that need to be asked to find out who these jurors are. The judge, oh, what a joke. Okay, the judge is a joke. Okay, straight up, she's a joke. She needs to be impeached. So she says in court today two things that need to be made very public. So she says in court today that it was time to start asking the jury questions, and so she said, well, we need to have we'll have the defense attorneys ask the jury selection questions because they know this case better than I do. Okay, I'm sorry, but what the heck with a giant HE? Anyways, this lady has been ruling on these motions for an entire year, keeping our men detained for a year because allegedly she knew the case and she was the one that was fit to make these decisions to keep our men locked away. Yet she doesn't know the case well enough to ask simple jury selection questions? Like, are you kidding me? That's appalling. She should know this case inside and out. She should have personally viewed every ounce of that discovery in order to make a well-informed decision, which just shows me that that's the reason why she has denied each and every one of these guys from pretrial release. So that was pretty appalling. The other thing that was really appalling, are you guys still there? Sorry, holy moly. Guess I went through a dead spot there. So then the other thing that she brought up was, how did she say? They were talking about like wanting to ask these jurors just because they said that they'd read about the case and they felt like they already had a well-formed opinion on what was going on at the Bundy Ranch. The prosecution was wanting them off the jury. And so ours were saying, well, I don't think that's good enough to just dismiss them from the jury pool. Like, we need to be able to ask them more questions. Like, let's let them go through another round. And she said, well, do you know what's going to happen is we're going to let a juror in like this that has a bias, and they're going to cause a ruckus inside the courtroom, and I'm going to have to declare a mistrial, and then you guys are going to be stuck in here for we'll have to come back and do this again next year. And I was like, whoo, honey, is that a threat? Like, is that what you're saying? So anyways, I'm pretty sure there's two jurors that are on the jury selection right now. I'm pretty sure they're FBI agents because, I mean, the answers to their questions are ridiculous, and they're trying to sound like all supportive of everything that we stand for, like trying to be supportive of the Constitution and stuff, yet they can't even, when our attorneys say, well, what does that mean? Then they don't know. But anyways, it's gonna be fine. I'm feeling confident. I pulled down there today, super duper anxious, and I walked up onto the steps. There's like a million DHS and Metro standing up there, in case our protesters, get out of hand. Anyways, I looked up at the sky and storm clouds were starting to blow in. By the time we came out for lunch, I got out at lunch and I was talking to a friend of mine that was on the jury selection. He got kicked off because he was part of the Sagebrush Rebellion. Google Sagebrush Rebellion and find out about that. Anyways, so they kicked him off the jury instantly because he was he stood for the same things that we stand for, land rights, anyways, and ranchers' rights. So anyways, I was talking to him out there and I was giving him a hug, and he's like, so what do you think about all this? And I pointed up to the sky and I said, the storm's a-brewing. The storm is brewing. These prosecutors are angry, they're furious, they're flustered. They can't think. The judge is talking about blocking trial for blacking out. Oh, it's called blackout. having a blackout on trial for the next 2 weeks. How is that okay? Like, we're not going to go to trial for 3 weeks now? We've been waiting on this day for a year. They have no right to block us from starting these proceedings. But the reason why they are is the prosecution's got nothing. You hear me, Chad Simpkins with the FBI, listening, because I know you follow me? You got nothing. Our men are not going to be locked up. They're not going to be detained because they're not guilty. They're not guilty of any crime. The guilty ones in this are you. So when you take the stand, be sure that I will be testifying against you for the abuses and the verbal abuse and the emotional abuse that you inflicted on me and my family at the beginning of Mel's incarceration. We know who the criminals are here, and it was not us. It is an overreaching government that needs to be stopped. This judge needs to be impeached. These lies need to be exposed, and the corruption needs to stop. So keep praying. The prayers are working. We're getting these guys all, they're getting all nervous and scrambled, with their words. And that's what happens when you tell the truth. We walked in there with our integrity, and we're going to walk out with our integrity. And we're going to walk out as not guilty men. Stay strong, America. We got